Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. This is an ongoing bonus series as we take a look at the television shows we remember from the past. On this episode, we're going back to the early 90s as we take a look at Legends of the Hidden Temple, a game show that aired on the Nickelodeon network. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I would ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new video. Now, sit back and enjoy this bonus episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Legends of the Hidden Temple. This television show was created by David G. Stanley, Scott A. Stone, and Stephen Brown. It aired on the Nickelodeon network. The production companies were Stone Stanley Productions and Nickelodeon Productions, and it aired from September 11th, 1993 to November 24th of 1995. But let's take a look at the history. So the show was originally conceived as a Secrets of the Haunted House show, and monsters would jump out and frighten the contestants while competing in challenges within the house. The show eventually would be mutated into the Legends of the Hidden Temple, and the show was actually taped at the Nickelodeon Studios in Universal Studios located in Orlando, Florida. So the show originally aired on weekends at 6:30, where it would increase its ratings in that time slot. As a result, the show would begin airing on weekdays at 5:30, starting on February 14th of 1994. The set design was based on the Indiana Jones film series with a Mayan twist. The set would include areas for different physical challenges, a shallow moat, the series of steps of knowledge that would be used for the challenge games, and then the vertical labyrinth for the temple challenge. A temple gate was created for Olmec, who was voiced by Don D. Baker, and this Olmec would narrate the legend that was the theme of that week's episode. So let's take a look at the gameplay. So the game would be broken down into 4 rounds, with each round eliminating at least one team. Each team had 2 players, 1 guy and 1 girl. Each time a team was eliminated, they would go home with a certain prize, and the prizes would increase in value as the rounds, increase the rounds. So round 1 was the moat. The first round had 6 teams attempting to cross the moat with a different combination of ways. For example, one episode, teams had to paddle themselves across with a boogie board, and then the first 4 teams to hit the special buzzer would move on to the next round. Round 2 would be the Steps of Knowledge. The remaining 4 teams would stand on top of the Steps of Knowledge. Then Olmec would tell the teams a story or legend that would be the focus or the theme of that episode. The legend would be focused on a certain artifact that the teams would eventually have to find if they get to the temple level. After finishing the tale, Olmec would then ask questions based on the tale that the contestants just heard. The first 2 teams to correctly answer 4 questions would move on to the 3rd round. The 3rd round is the Temple Games. So the 2 remaining teams would then compete in a series of challenges that are themed around that week's episode or legend. Each challenge would offer the winner a pendant of life that they could use in the final round. Each game would last less than 60 seconds, and the first 2 games would have 1 member of each team competing against each other, and the 3rd game would have the 2 teams competing 2-on-2. At the end of the 3 games, whichever team has more pendants of life would move on to the final round. The final round being the Temple Run, and the winning team from the previous round would now enter the temple to find the hidden artifact that was described in round number 2. The teams would have 3 minutes to enter the temple and find the hidden artifact. Before they entered, though, Olmec would explain the team the best route to take to find find the artifact. But inside the temple, there are temple guards who are there to distract them, and if a team member ran into a temple guard, they would have to give up a pendant of life. If they did not have a pendant of life, they would be done, and the other team member would go in. At the end of the 3 minutes, if they were able to find the artifact and escape the temple, they would win the grand prize. Usually the grand prize was either a trip to one episode that I watched, it was for a trip to space camp. So in terms of the broadcast history, episodes would run on Nickelodeon starting on September 11, 1993 and run until 1995. Reruns, however, would continue to air on Nickelodeon, as well as Nickelodeon GAS, and they would run reruns until 2007. Teen Nick would also run reruns until 2011. The series currently can be found on Paramount Plus, and in 2017, a Hidden Temple board game would be released by Pressman and would only be sold at Target stores. So in March of 2016 as well, there was a television film when Nickelodeon announced a TV film version of the game show. The film would feature elements from the original show, including Olmec, and the movie was directed by Joe Moendez and starred Isabella Moiner, Jeff Jergismeyer, and Daniel Cudmore. And then there was a revival on December 16th, 2019. It was announced that the show would be returning with a small change. This time, the contestants would now be adults. This show aired on QB. However, it was scheduled to air on QB. However, that would never happen as QB would be shut down by the end of the year. The show would end up being picked up by the CW, and the new host was Krista Alonso, with the first episode airing on October 10th, 2021. The format of the show would remain the same, however, as well as Dee Baker returning as the voice of Olmec. The show, however, was canceled on June 3rd, 2022. So, memories of the show. I could see the appeal. I never watched the show as a kid. I didn't have Nickelodeon. I could see the appeal of the show being a game show and like all the action as well as the trivia type stuff. And it keeps the flow going from round to round to round. Upon rewatching it though, it seems that the show seems to be the same every time you watch it. So like it's good for like a once in a while type thing, but in terms of like binge watching it, it tends to be quite repetitive. But if you do want to watch episodes, they are available, like I said, on Paramount Plus. So thank you for joining us here on this special bonus episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would love for anyone to please leave a comment below on what they think of Legends of the Hidden Temple. And as we look forward to our next bonus episode, we are going back to the Disney afternoon as we take a look at the beloved Goof Troop. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.